Like with Persona and Mortal Kombat, I have a series of short stories based on Resident Evil. As for why this series doesn't have as broad a title as Mortal Kombat Chronicles or Tales from the Metaverse, I did not anticipate this being a series since Chapter 2 released almost a year after the first and was a direct continuation, effectively re-entered the survival horror Part 2. It only became a series of shorts once Chapter 3 revolved around Resi 3 instead of 2. Unlike those other series though, I don't get a ton of ideas for Resi stories, so these videos will feature only 5 chapters so that I can actually make the videos. Chapter 1: Survivors. As with MK Chronicles, it started with one short based around an odd hole in the series, in this case that in no version of Resident Evil 2, the original, Darkside Chronicles, the SD Perry novel, or even the remake as it would transpire, does Claire Redfield, who is looking for RPD STARS officer Chris Redfield, ask RPD officer Leon S. Kennedy if he knows where her brother is, even though this would very naturally segue into revealing that it's Leon's first day on the job. So she does ask that, and they continue talking and learning about each other over the course of the opening car ride. Chapter 2: Sanctuary. This chapter released 11 months later after 2 makes release. It borrows from both the original and remake as it details Claire's arrival at the RPD, meeting up with Leon at the gate, her journey to the STARS office where she and Leon start to piece things together, and then ending with the two being separated as Claire goes after Sherry. I had the story try to justify things that are part of the game for gameplay reasons. The B route to the RPD is shorter to get you into the main play area quicker, but this then makes Claire being behind Leon in the original Leon A Claire B scenario questionable. Here, Claire arrives second while going through the route A path. The characters split up in the game because the game is built around isolation, but they realistically would stick together as much as possible, only being split up by external factors. Also, I find it odd that Claire is a motorcycle enthusiast, yet she never talks about them, so I gave her a little fangirl moment here that also uses motorbikes as the reason for her to not attend college at Raccoon University. Really, it's just a bunch of small, unanswered questions or oddities that only bother me coming together to form a follow-up to Chapter 1. Chapter 3: Last Escape. I released this one the day 3 make released. The entire concept for the story was to have Claire call Jill to ask about Chris right as Jill is forced to leave her apartment by undead intrusion. The focus is on what happened between Resi 1 and 3, Jill's mental state, and her current relationship with Brad. Like with chapters 1 and 2, this one leads directly into Chapter 4: Nemesis. Naturally, this is Jill's first encounter with the titular tyrant. If you've seen the wasted potential on Brad, this one adapts one of those scenarios and was written around the same time as that video's production. If you've not seen that, then this is totally original and never before done. Chapter 5: Siblings. So in Code Veronica, Claire goes looking for Chris at Umbrella's Paris facility where she is captured and taken to Rockfort Island. While there, she finds out that Chris is being monitored by Umbrella and gets in touch with Leon to ask him to let Chris know. If she knew Leon could get in touch with Chris, then why the hell did she not just ask Leon to find out where Chris is for her? The Darkside Chronicles reworked this to Claire asking Leon to come and get her, only for him to send the information to Chris, as he had tracked Chris down but been unable to reach Claire until now in some semi-comedic, metaphorical Scooby-Doo sequence. I had forgotten about DSC's fix for the series' biggest plot hole and came up with my own, which removes Leon entirely and focuses on Chris, Jill and Carlos on their investigation in Europe. As for Chapter 6, Partners, you'll have to either wait until I've written 4 more chapters or go read it for yourself. Read my stories, cowards! If you liked this video, then read the damn stories! Support me on Patreon because, just turned 30 and I'm not getting any younger, help. If not, then piss off, yeah? Today's recommended playlist is just for those of you who are looking for more Resident Evil literature. I don't know if this was a collaboration or if people just individually decided to do this, but numerous channels across YouTube host audiobooks of the Resident Evil novels by SD Perry. Fan-made ones. Those just exist in this playlist that you can go and listen to all the books. That's pretty cool.